I live in a Honda Civic with my cat since I escaped a narcissist. It is now September, which means that winter is coming. So I need to get us housing before the winter or we'll die. Quebec's 2025 fall forecast. Risk of ending fall with an abrupt transition into early winter. I feel like that puts the pressure on a little bit. I want to talk to you guys about anxiety around being broke and the fear of not having enough money and the fear of not being able to make money, especially considering my current circumstances. If you don't know, I currently live in a Honda Civic with my cat after escaping narcissistic abuse in June. I've been in the car since July, so it's been 2 months now, and I fully plan to move into an apartment or at least get out of the car by October of this year. Also, while I am trying to pull off this miracle, my car is falling apart, piece after piece, essentially. And I thought it was very relevant to talk to you guys about the anxiety, not just of, not having enough money to get out of the car, but I noticed something. So some of you know that a few weeks ago that I made a couple grand in about 10 days. And I noticed that while that was happening, the state of mind that I was in was one of joy and abundance and freedom. But then maybe a week or so after that, I started to fall back into this old way of thinking where I felt constricted and in fear and not enough and too afraid to check my bank account because what if, and every time going to swipe my card, even though there should be well more than enough money in my account, just feeling this anxiety of there not being enough money. And I know, based on my experience manifesting things and the fact that I largely attribute manifestation practices to how I got the $2,000 in the first place, I know that it is not helpful to be living in that state of fear about not having enough money. So I really wanted to talk about that. And the other issue that came up recently is the fact that I challenged myself, as I said, to get out of the car by October 1st, which gave me about 3 weeks to pull off this challenge, which, as I said from the beginning, I know that it's going to take longer than that. But right after I posted that video, or around the time that I was posting that video, I started to get really bad PMS and fibromyalgia symptoms, and I have a herniated disc that was flaring up, and so I could barely walk, I could barely move, I could barely function, I couldn't think straight, and I'm like, this is not helping. I felt totally helpless, and in that state of feeling like I can't even do anything now, and I'm losing time in this challenge. The deadline's getting closer, bills are approaching, what am I gonna do? And then the fear starts coming up. So I want to talk about this with you guys today in this video. But first, we're going to prepare for hopefully what will be the next road trip that earns us a bunch of money by doing some autumn cleaning. I just did a whole bunch of laundry. I washed almost everything except for the blankets because I didn't have enough coins, so I might come back tomorrow and get that done as well. I really want to use today to just do some fall cleaning and get my stuff together. So what I'd like to do as well is try to vacuum the car and possibly even pull out my Bissell from my storage locker and clean the upholstery, which the only thing really stopping me besides a lack of energy and full body pain, as I'm in a fibromyalgia flare right now, the other thing that's stopping me is the weather. Since it's gotten colder, I'm concerned that it might not dry in time, and it gets really cold at night now, so that could be an issue. I might try to do it anyways though. Full disclaimer, I ended up just falling asleep and taking a very long nap. I have no idea. how long I was asleep. Several hours. I feel like garbage. I feel like I can't function. And I'm probably going to go right back to sleep right now. And then sleep all night. And just sleep. And then sleep some more. Good night. Somewhere in this toolbox, I have this car strength adhesive thingy that I bought in BC for when some piece of the Dodge Grand Caravan was coming off, and I never used it. So I figure maybe if I find it, I can use it for the side view mirror. Nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is. I love you. I'm gonna try to move everything around you, okay? So you're not gonna stay in there. No, you can't come outside now. Does this look like a park to you? Because it's not. It's a parking lot. I made quite a bit of room, but I don't think I'm gonna be vacuuming anything under the cat. But everything else is fair game. Yes, there is litter everywhere. I put everything back in order. We ran out of time on the machine and I didn't want to put in another $3 just to do that one part of the car, just that floor, which is probably the worst, but I was going to put the litter box back anyways, so it's just going to get litter on it again 2 seconds later. So I figure I'm just going to leave it because, you know what, I'm only going to be in this car for another few weeks anyways. So whatever. Ah! This is the second time that I had to boost the car this morning. I also had to boost it yesterday. I basically have to boost it every time it's off for an extended period of time now, whether the headlights are accidentally left on or not. I think the battery is basically dead or dying, like on its last leg, and I have to make decisions. Do I buy a new battery for this car that I plan to get rid of in a couple of weeks? Do I hope that it lasts long enough that I can execute my plan? Honestly, I think what I'm at least going to start by doing is I'm going to wait a few more days to see if the road trip gigs are even listed, to see if I'm even going anywhere. That would be a good first step, I think. And in the meantime, I can just keep boosting the car, I think, because it's only a couple of days. I think I can get through that. After that, I really don't know what I'm going to do. But you know what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about my affiliate product. This is what I use to boost the car. It's this little pack. It comes with alligator clips. You've seen them. Basically, it's the most important thing that I have in my car because it has saved my life on countless occasions. Yes, I do have the CAA thing included in my insurance, and I can always call them to come boost, but you got to pay for that at a certain point. This thing is so convenient. I don't got to call no one. I don't got to wait for nobody. I don't got to pay nobody. I just take it out of my glove box and go hook it up, and it literally takes a minute or less than a minute to boost the car. I've used this thing so many times, and it really gives me confidence when I'm on the road. It makes me feel a lot safer knowing that I have it. Okay, so no one is paying me for telling you about this. This is not a sponsored thing. I'm just telling you guys because I actually use it and I actually love it. If you're interested in buying it, it's on Amazon, and I have an Amazon affiliate link posted in the description. So if you click my affiliate link, you're gonna go to Amazon. It's just that Amazon's gonna know that I sent you there, and they're going to give me a very small commission. Sausage McMuffin and a small coffee. I'm having a coffee and breakfast while I'm leaving the car to run, hoping that the alternator charges the battery a little bit so that I don't have to boost it every single time I start the car, because that's ridiculous. Like, I have to run in to pee right now. Am I gonna come out and have to boost the car again? The good news is that I seem to be managing with the battery. So as long as I let the car run for a significant amount of time to let the alternator charge the battery, it seems to start okay. So this is a manageable situation, and we should get through at least the next few days, if not the next few weeks. I was going to glue the side view mirror on, but some male got out of his car and decided by himself that he would, quote unquote, fix my mirror, and just kept fiddling with it until this came loose. And so it's not even gonna hold the thing in. Like, it just makes extra work, and therefore I just left it like this. I wanted to talk to you guys about anxiety around being broke and all of that stuff. I just want to preface this with the fact that the way that I deal with my anxiety around being broke may not feel comfortable to you, and that's okay. The way I deal with it is very woo-woo. All I really know is that the woo-woo way that I deal with my own anxiety around not having enough money is consistently key to making sure that I have enough, that I'm always taken care of, that I'm always safe. I always have enough. But that's also something that I want to talk about. Having enough is also my own limitation, and that's what I was talking about earlier in this video. I recognized that I had more than enough, something to build on, and I went into this place of anxiety where I went into old fears as if I didn't have any money in my account. It was like I was reliving trauma or something, the trauma of not having any money. And so my mind went there and went to a state that it was very used to after having lived through that for long periods of time, always struggling, always having only a few dollars, only having enough to barely survive, and waiting for that next nugget that would feed me or pay a bill. So I had more than enough in my account. I went into a fear state, a trauma-based fear state, feeling like I didn't have enough, and I manifested that. And there's more to that, and I'm going to get into that, because when I rewatched this video as I was editing it, I realized that everything that I said in that first segment, I manifested it, as well as all the other things that I was trying to manifest were all layered on top of each other. So just quickly as an example, and you haven't gotten to this point yet, but it's relevant here, is that at some point in the future from this video, I lose my credit card. And when I lost my credit card, I both had very little money, access to money. So again, I was manifesting not having enough, or just having enough, just enough to survive. But also I was manifesting a higher credit score because I did have money on my credit card that I wasn't able to use. So all the things that I was thinking about, that I was manifesting consciously or unconsciously, were all layered on top of each other, all being manifested. More importantly, going back to the limitation of the belief of always having just enough or having enough, is I recognize while making this video and everything that came in the days following it, that I have this, or had, I'm working through it now very effectively, a limiting belief that I only have enough. It is a paycheck to paycheck mindset. So what would happen is money would come in, and then I would find reasons to need to spend that money. And therefore, I wouldn't be able to save the money or invest the money and to be able to grow and eventually always have money. Because the state of always having money was uncomfortable to me because it was so foreign. It made me uncomfortable because I would feel like any day that I would lose it or something would happen and I would have to pay for something or spend it or whatever. It was a fear that when I have money that it will always go away. And that's what I was manifesting. I recognized that because of my trauma or brainwashing, programming, whatever, that my mind would always manifest the state of being where I always just had enough. So because I believed so faithfully that I will always be okay, therefore I will always be okay. Great first step. But then I will always only be just okay and never really thriving, because thriving felt foreign to me and felt unsafe. Thriving felt unsafe. Having felt unsafe because in a state of having meant that I could lose it and lose whatever I had. And that is what I need and have been working through. And since I've been working through it in just the last few days, some crazy stuff has happened. Let's just say that. I also recognized while watching this video back while I was editing that one of the ways that I was self-sabotaging because of my limiting beliefs was the physical symptoms. So was it inevitable that I was going to get my period? Yes. Was it inevitable that I was going to get a super bad, super painful, super heavy period? No. Was it inevitable that I was going to get a really, really bad fibromyalgia flare for the first time in months? No. Was it inevitable that I was going to have a flare-up of my herniated disc? Absolutely not. And was it inevitable that they were all going to happen at the same time? Unlikely. So I recognized that I was manifesting these physical symptoms as an upper limit problem. So upper limit is like you have an upper limit of what you believe is possible, and then once you hit that upper level, or once you hit that ceiling, you will start to sabotage yourself, or you will do or think or whatever to prevent yourself from going any further. And I recognized that that is what was happening. So I worked through that and I could walk again. My back pain significantly went down. And my fibromyalgia flare started going away, and I just started feeling a lot better. And opportunities started coming up again for money, which you will see in the future. I'll start with one tip of what I used to do when I was really, really struggling, because it saved me. And this is not from me. I got it somewhere else. I probably got it from multiple people, but it helped. Is every time I would go to pay for something, I would pretend in my head that I was getting paid. So when I tapped on my card on the machine, so in Canada we tap our cards, we don't have to put on our PIN number. It's way too easy to pay, unfortunately. Anyways, I went to pay, and as I put my card, I breathed, I took a breath, I tried to lower my anxiety in that moment to center myself, and I said, thank you for this payment. Thank you for this payment. And in my head, I imagined that I wasn't paying someone, but that I was getting paid. And doing that, it didn't take long before I started getting money here and there out of nowhere. That was manifesting me to accumulate little bits of money. The only other advice that I can give you is the advice that my friend has given me, as well as I've heard repeated through hundreds of other sources at this point, is your nervous system. Control your nervous system. Help support your nervous system. If you feel that anxiety, control your breathing. Calm yourself down. You have to control your thoughts to reel them in, to not allow yourself to start thinking, oh my God, this is the end of the world, and stop and recognize, no, bad things happen all the time, and I get through them, and so I will get through this. All I have to do is take a moment, take a breath. It's okay, everything's going to be okay, and choose to believe that everything will be okay. It might not sound rational, but I promise you it is very effective. I get that some of you don't believe in any of this stuff, but that is my best advice because that is literally what works for me. That is what works the best, and that is really the only thing that works, is recognizing that your mind has power over everything. Matter in general, the reality we live in, how you perceive it, how your body feels, everything.